like I always say, divest. You have my blessing, but on your way out, don't be misandry. Don't do all this misandry stuff because you're just basically doing scorched earth. Scorched earth. Um, it's like if I can't have a black man, nobody will.
Yeah.
That's basically kind of my take on most of this stuff.
So I agree 100% with both of you brothers. I think one thing that I don't know, maybe I see a little bit wrong, but the thing that I don't get is, in particular with divesters, once you leave the community, I feel like you no longer have responsibility. I don't know if maybe I'm out of line for that, but I feel like once you get from out, say you don't want to deal with black men anymore, but you want to complain about violence and certain things propagated against you, or certain conditions propagated against you, then you're not on the team anymore.
I hear what you're saying, and what's your name again?
Just call me Dre.
Dre. Sorry, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but like deep down, this is where I'm not as hard body with it because at the end of the day, they're still black, right? So I see value even when it comes to men, the Pookie and the Ray Ray types, right? Like there people are redeemable. Um, some of these women have very traumatic experiences, and their content is just misplaced, and they're not really getting the therapy that they desperately need. And I don't necessarily think of the same way that okay, now that they've left, there's nothing redeemable about them. Because to be honest, there are, I wouldn't say black male divesters, but there are black men that I know of personally that have a strong negative feeling towards the black community. But in terms of them being resourceful and a benefit to the collective of black people, I would never throw those brothers away.
Well,
Ever.
gotcha. Let me clarify a little bit. So, I wish I could remember the young lady, but basically there was a young lady killed about a month or two ago. I believe it's like towards the end of January, beginning of February. She was about 25 years
Lawrence
old.
Smith Fields?
Oh, say again?
Lawrence Smith Fields?
Yes, that's her.
That was one of them, yeah.
There's been a few.
Bridgeport, Connecticut.
I believe that's it. And I remember just kind of reading the stories at first, and kind of even the media vibe. It was like, well, why aren't black men coming out and speaking out against her killing? And then it came out, oh, she was a divester and all these posts and everything. And I'm not saying throw people away in the sense of like I want nothing to do with you. I'm just saying like, in much the same way that once I left my father's house, I no longer had his resources. I no longer had his covering. I had to make my own way, and I had to become a man of my own too. And I feel like it's a similar thing from a societal sense. Like as a black man, I feel for what happened. I really do. And I'm not advocating for violence or anything like that against anybody, but it's like, in essence, you left the family. That's just how I feel.
I definitely hear what you're saying in terms of it's like you're a spoiled child who decides to be emancipated. Okay, you decided to leave. I've washed my hands of any responsibilities. So I completely get what you're saying. But I see like the bigger picture with a lot of this stuff. And as I always say, divest. You have my blessing. I know there's some of you ladies ninja watching in the clouds, hate watching.
Ninja watching.
Deep down, they know that they're that a lot of the stuff that they're saying is fucked up. Like deep down, they know. But they're not. But they're choosing to use. They're choosing to use Divested Zealot or Cynthia G as their as their therapist. No, you gotta stop consuming that content because it's only going to lead you down a dark road.
Right.
Like those women aren't living their best lives.
Absolutely. Let me add. Looks like I got a few more in the chat, in the call line. I want to add on. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. You got Kevin C. How's it going? You there, Kevin C?
Yeah, hey, how you doing? Had to unmute myself. You guys doing okay over there?
Hey, brother.
Good, doing good. And then I got, is that Mr. Research? I think I got in the building too. Okay.
Yeah. If somebody else wanted to talk, that's fine. I had a few points and I didn't want to stay on very long. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the first part of it, only because my son and I, we were out, working out, doing some boxing and stuff like that. But I actually did have this set up so that way I could get the reminder, and as soon as I came in, I got on.
Awesome.
But yeah, hey, I don't have a problem with, and I think I put it in the chat, but I don't have a problem with people popping in and out, as long as they don't have a proven and public history of denigrating Black people. Like that's, like that whole Stacey Dash thing, like she can't really come back because of what she's said and done. And Black people aren't really accepting her back. It just is what it is. So that's I think that's what and I forget who it was. He was just talking about that, but I think that's a little that probably gives a bit more clarification of what he's talking about. Look, go ahead and do what you're going to do. Get the best person, Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, whoever. But just be good to your people. Don't betray your people, because we have enough of that going on already. One of my only issues, and I would say this, I didn't realize that this was as much of a problem as it is, but I have a real issue with, a personal grind, I guess, if you want to call it that, with people who really denigrate people from our own group without looking at the history of what it is we have to deal with, the fact that we don't have equal circumstances and all the obstacles that Black people have to go through, and just dismissing that. It just makes no sense to me, because the more I learn about us, our history, the past that we have, and the things that we still have to deal with today, it just doesn't make sense to me that anybody can have the idea that collectively we're supposed to be equal to everybody else and on the same playing field. And we've never had that in this country. We've never had it. We're not going to get it. And even though we do everything we can to navigate this system that's unfair and unequal, people are looking at it like, well, you guys just aren't good enough. And I'm like, well, yeah, there's going to be issues and problems, but the people who do well or actually somehow overcome it, they still are somehow counted against the guys who aren't even trying. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And I don't mind if other groups do it, because I expect that from them. But you know who I don't expect it from? I don't expect it from the people within the group. That tells me that you're not really looking at your own group, the things you have to deal with, the struggles and the problems that we have to face within this system that's completely unfair. It doesn't make sense to me. So